So what was your reaction to finding out you're not going to play on Sunday?
Yeah, Coach asked me, what I like to do. We had a conversation, and he called me back, let me know that we're probably going to be resting, and my reaction was kind of like I told my family. Obviously, my family, probably wanted a little bit more than me, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is winning football games and we're in the playoffs. So I got a bigger goal in mind anyway.
What was your message to Nick when you did it?
I mean, he asked me if I wanted to play, if I want to go for it. I said on Sunday, I probably didn't care too much for it. When I slept on it, I was like, there's an opportunity to implant my name in football history. May never get another opportunity like that again. So I'm down, but at the end of the day, I don't care for putting the team at risk. And he's the head coach for a reason. He makes those decisions, and whatever decision he wanted to make, I let him know if you want me to play, I'm going to go out there and make sure I get it. And if we don't, I'm okay with that too.
Lane said he also talked to the line. What does it mean to you guys that your opinion mattered to Coach Sirianni?
Sorry about that. You guys in space. Means a lot, and it's not. You're not caught off guard by it because it's like that every game. He's a guy's open door policy. You can go in there and talk about anything. Sometimes he'll just call you randomly and just chop it up with you. So, and I think it's pretty cool that as bad as I won the record, the lineman won it too. So that kind of what made me change my mindset on Monday too, because I know that, like I said, my name would be the one in there in the history books, but they would be the O-line that would have done it for me.
Is there a part of you, or maybe for your family, that would have wanted it a little bit extra because it would have come against the Giants?
Yeah, it would have been special to do it against the Giants, but not for the reasons why, how you guys probably perceive it to be. At the end of the day, like I always say, I got nothing but love and respect for those guys over there. And there's a lot of trainers and coaches and strength guys over there that I put through hell. And they helped me out with my ACL, helped me out with my injuries, and I wouldn't be able to be the player I am today without those guys over there too. So it kind of been like a full circle moment. But at the end of the day, it's not in God's plan. And like I said, I got bigger things in mind, and we get a chance to get a rest and get ready to roll for the playoffs.
I could have done a straight hand for you and just laid down and let you get it.
I'm not too familiar with that. I seen a clip the other day on ESPN that they were talking about that, but yeah, I don't think if I did play this game, the New York Giants would let me go out there and just run for 100 yards pretty easy.
How would you characterize your emotion right now? Is there some semblance of disappointment?
No, it's not disappointment. Like at the end of the day, I'll have a time. Don't have time yet, but to be able to reflect on the season, and I've done a lot of great things so far this year, and I always hold myself, to a standard. I can go back and pick 15 or 20 plays that if I would have done this or made this guy miss, that record would have been broken pretty easy. So it's no disappointment. I'm blessed to even be in position to even have an opportunity to do that. Like I said, it's not in God's plan. So, but what is in God's plans is the opportunity to get ready for the playoffs and give myself not only myself but all the starters a little break so we can get in the playoffs healthy and go for a run.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling at this point in the season? How much is that break important right now?
I think it's important because we haven't had a bye since week 4 or week 5. So we've been going at it since then. Won 10 in a row, lost 1 and won another one. So it's like I think the rest definitely is going to help rather than hurt us. But me personally, I feel great. If I had to go out there and get the record, I felt really good enough to do it too. But yeah, I made a joke to one of my boys the other night that my body don't feel like I ran for 2,000 yards. So that's a good thing, and got to give a shout out to all the people that helped me feel like that also.
Can you talk about the outpouring since you've hit that 2,000 yards milestone? Some of the messages maybe that you've received.
Yeah, I think the coolest ones to me is the guys who've done it and kind of welcomed me to the club. That means a lot because a lot of those guys, I grew up watching, or if I didn't get to actually watch them play as a kid, watching highlights and be able to watch all the YouTube highlights and try to resemble their game to mine. So yeah, to me, that's probably been the coolest thing, rather than all the other people. But to get love and have a guy like Chris Johnson or Jamal Lewis and all those guys reach out meant a lot to me.
The message here is
no
that
one's done it back-to-back years. I'm sorry, no one's done it twice. Is there any, I don't want to say fear, but like concern that he might not be back in the spot again?
No, I don't think Derrick Henry could do it. He needs what, like that's
He needs 200 plus.
yeah, 200 plus this week. 217. I'm not gonna lie, I knew that number. I talked to him today. He was telling me like seeing if I was gonna get it, and obviously the news came out that I'm sitting, and I kind of told him, you could do something special too. Like, be the first one to do it twice, and yeah, you never know. But that's life. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I can't guarantee anything, but my mindset is to finish the season off strong and try to accomplish what we want to accomplish as a team, and at the same time, the way I believe in myself, and if I continue to have faith in God and continue to have the same work ethic, why not? Why can't I be the first person to do that, or why can't I be in the same position I am next year? So this year it's not in the plan, so we move on and we get ready for the playoffs.
Saquon, I'm curious what your perspective is now on this, because as someone who's appreciated history, the running backs have done it, the numbers that you'll look back and see your name on. There's some other players, sometimes buried, wasn't in at the end, or other records. Does it change kind of how you think about how history shows those names in order, and not having a chance to add to the number?
Yeah, I mean, even before I ever got in this position, I always looked at it different. Like Eric Dixon, I gotta make sure what I say is not like throwing a shot at him, but Eric Dixon has a record. You can't take nothing away from him with that. It's amazing. I think the two most impressive ones would be OJ, because the amount of games he did it in is 14, and then Barry, the amount of carries he did it in like 335. So yeah, it was cool for me that knowing how close I was, and to be able to do the research again, even though I have done it before, and be able to go and watch Adrian Peterson do it and on YouTube. And I would watch it as a kid, and then I watched Barry do it on YouTube against the Jets. So I was able to go back down memory lane that I guess I wasn't even old enough for, I guess you could say. But yeah, your perspective definitely does change on it. But at the end of the day, I think it's just cool to even be mentioned with those guys.
Do you have any idea what the record is if you include the playoffs?
Like, I actually know that. Terrell Davis, 24, 50-something, 60-something.
So you can still go get that.
Exactly. That matters the most. And that's how I look at it. That's how I kind of been telling my family is like, we didn't come here, and I didn't sign here to break Eric Dixon's record. We came here to win the Super Bowl. And I think everyone knows that. That's our goal and what we want to accomplish.
Was there a point in this season, though, where his numbers started to really come into focus for you? You thought, I can really do this. I can really get this.
I'll say probably after the Rams game, or probably, I don't know if it was the Rams game or whenever I hit 1,000. I was like, there's definitely a chance. It's a possibility, especially with playing 17 games. But yeah, it is what it is.
What would it mean to you, just being the rushing champion just this year?
Yeah, I gotta be careful what I say, because Derek still can go get that. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's a special player, and you can't count him out on anything. But it would mean a lot, I think, not only for myself but for the offensive line. But when you look at the history of the position, all the greats have at least one or two. So, and I want to be one of those greats. So I would love to have one under my belt. But at the end of the day, if Derek go out there and gets 230, I'm not gonna be upset. I'll probably be the first one to congratulate him. And I think it would be pretty cool that in my lifetime I'll be able to watch or play against someone that was able to do it twice.
Is there somebody in your family who did take it the hardest?
My father.
Yeah. What was
he tried to act like he didn't, but he called me yesterday, try to say Happy New Year's, check up on me. But he definitely wanted me to play. Selfishly for him, you got to think about it. For however long, whether it would take a year if I would have broke it, or for someone to break it, or another 40, 50 years, our last name would have been attached to that. So I see it from that side too, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is winning football games, and he's the one that raised me to kind of be all about the team too. So he can have his little selfish moment, but he'll get over it.
How'd you console him?
Huh?
How'd you console him?
I just told him, I was like, yeah, it's not happening. We'll move on.
The message.
There were 4 games where you didn't play really at all in the fourth quarter. And you kind of think like you probably would have the record right now.
Yeah, I think my viral "let them young boys eat" kind of came back to bite me. You know what? But no, I wouldn't change that. Yeah, there's some games, but like I said, that's not, you don't go out there and even the next opportunity I have, I'm not going to go out there and be like the goal is to break the record. You go out there, you play the game for the right reasons, and go out there to win, have fun, and also enjoy seeing your guys go out there and eat too. So, I don't. Obviously, I just made a joke about it, but I wouldn't change that for anything.
The message here is that that there's something bigger than the record for this team.
Yeah.
Do you need to win the Super Bowl for you to feel maybe a little bit better about all this when you look back on it?
No, I mean, like, my mindset is, obviously whoever we play in the playoffs first, win there and go on and go on. But say we talking crazy and that doesn't happen, I'm not going to look back on it and be like, damn, since we didn't do that, like I should have had the opportunity. Like, I wanted to do it, but once I found out that we're not, like, I was just like, okay, kind of made it easier for me because it's not my decision, it's coach's decision, and I'm glad that I didn't have to make that decision. Because say if you go out there for a selfish reason and something negative happens, and I'm the one that's out there trying to get the offensive line to go play and beat a record for me, it sounds crazy. So honestly, I'm just happy that I didn't have to make that decision. Nick made it pretty easy on me, and I'm truly at peace at it.
In camp, you gave a press conference talking about how you want to be great and you're chasing being great. And in that press conference, you spoke about how Emmitt Smith has the all-time record, but Barry Sanders is best at X, and you kind of went through it all. And so as you think about that, have you kind of, I guess, considered how your season's viewed in the context of being great in the NFL?
No, I think when you're done playing or maybe in the offseason, I'll reflect on it. I am well aware of, the great things we have accomplished so far this season. But, I haven't really allow my mind to travel down that way. But, I do know something that will add to it is going out there in the playoffs and getting the job done. So I look forward to that. And whoever it is, well, first I'm going to go out there and make sure that I support my teammates and try to be the eyes and ears for Kenny and Will and those guys on Sundays to get a win, because we can still go out there and win 14 games and do something that this franchise only ever done twice. And then after that, move right on to the next week and continue to try to improve on the great season that we've had so far.
Thanks, everyone.
Well, I know Coach Sirianni has said that most of the starters will not play on Sunday. Just your thoughts about that situation and how tough of a call that is.
I just kind of stand and wait for orders. So that's what I did. So if I'm not playing, I'm going to coach these guys up. I know they're all excited to play. They work hard all year. So for them, it's not just another game. So I'm excited.
Can you sort of explain how physically, how different your body would feel with a week of rest?
Still probably pretty bad. It's not going to heal up overnight. But, that's the reason why teams, strive for the number one seed to get the bye week, because it is huge. You get guys injured that maybe don't have the ability to play. You get an extra week, and now they have the ability to play. So, and even last year, AJ got hurt before we went to Tampa. So that's what you're looking at, as far as the Saquon situation. So that's the way I see it. So.
What was the conversation like between you guys with Saquon, going into that decision?
It really wasn't our decision. It's really upstairs. So, we're ready to play if we had to, and if we didn't, we'll sit. So.
Did the coaches get your input since Sunday about that decision?
Yeah, obviously everybody would like to have the record, but you would also like to have the player for the playoff game and win a playoff game with him. So you can get greedy if you want to. This league will quickly humble you and put you back in place. So.
With the record, it would be something kind of reflects the offensive line too, but. Without it,
I'll be okay without it.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Barry Sanders, I watched his documentary. He pulled out before all those records could have been broken. So Barry Sanders could have broken it probably all those years ago. So we'll let Eric Dickerson have it. So
that's kind of what I was asking. Is like, how do you frame what has been done this year?
You can reflect on it when the season's over, but like everything moves so fast now and we're busy. But it is special. Obviously it doesn't happen a whole lot. Last time we had a rusher like this was LaShawn my rookie year. So, we had a lot of high expectations heading into the year. So I think going into the season with pressure on and having to answer to that pressure is different than coming in with, without any expectations at all. So I was proud of how the guys responded. The record's cool. If we get it, we didn't get it. So we'll just get ready for the playoff game.
Lane, how are you spending the week in terms of like preparation? Are you looking at the two potential playoff teams?
I mean, helping mainly our guys, like with the Giants. I mean, it might be was it Green Bay or the Commanders? I guess that's what I've heard. So, yeah, I mean, we've played against those teams twice, Commanders, Green Bay early in the year. So, we know what we're up against. Get our bodies healed up, but really, I mean, we're in meetings with Stout right now. We're going over the Giants and helping these guys get prepared for who they're playing. So.
You guys have the early bye week, Lane, so it's been 12 straight weeks. This will be 13. Can you feel that? Do you know when that you have that late bye versus the early bye?
Well, the way I see it, it's like halfway because we started training camp July 23rd, so it's almost like the halfway point. So I've had late buys, and you come back and you still feel terrible. But it's like, I don't know. I've had it both ways, and to me, it's, I really didn't mind the early bye week this year.
You've been through the rest going into the playoffs before, whether it be because you got the 1 seed, you had a bye in the past. How big is this, if you can kind of put into words to the regular person at home who doesn't understand the beatings you guys have taken? How big is it to be rested going into the playoffs?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, when you get to your body gets used to the schedule, the daily grind, and you have a chance to heal, and you do feel a little bit of extra energy the next week. I think I can speak for a majority of NFL players. We don't get much time off, and the time you do have, we do take advantage of it. So, that's what we'll treat it like.
Thanks, Lane.
How'd that picture come about? Saquon and
Landon just picked him up, and I just picked him up, and then we got in. So it was real quick. But I guess as soon as Landon picked him up, I guess that was our time to start the picture. So, but that's how it happened.
Lane,
But I feel like I am going to get a little bit more reps this week, which is great with the guys that are going to play. And so, I'll be ready. The expectation is to win the game, to move the ball, to put points on the board. And so that's what we're going to do.
for someone in your spot, what could a game like this do for your career?
Yeah, I think it's big. Anytime, especially for me, anytime that I get an opportunity to step on the field, I think it's super important for me to, showcase what I can do, for our team, for other teams, for just, me, my confidence, the confidence of, the organization, the guys around me. So, obviously you want to put your best foot forward anytime that you step on the football field.
What do you find to be the biggest difference between the regular season and preseason?
AJ's really good. Smitty's really good. We really just do have unbelievable players. And so honestly, for us, I would say the biggest difference is just, put the ball in those guys' hands and let them go make plays.
It's framed on the outside course like a meaningless game. Like, are you an example of why it's a meaningful game this weekend?
Absolutely. This is my chance to, play a significant amount of snaps, reps, and to, go out and show what I've been working for all this whole year. Obviously I've been putting in a ton of work by myself, on the practice field and different things like that. So I feel like I can showcase that. I'm super excited for the opportunity.
How about the protections? I imagine in the preseason they're not sending as many blitzes. Right?
Yeah.
So how different is that?
Yeah, it is a little bit different, but like I said before, I've kind of been trying to prepare like I am the starter for the other games, and so we do just have similar protections of other games or just different things that have rolled over. So the plan seems familiar, and we just got to go out and execute.
Where do you think you improved? Where do you think you improved the most, like since the preseason, since you last played? In August?
Yeah, I feel like just almost having another season under my belt with the offense, just feeling more comfortable. Everything's happening second nature with different checks or where your eyes should be, just not thinking as much, being able to really see the defense, maybe look off guys, or just confirm things a little bit quicker with your eyes.
What did Jalen say to you about the game the other day?
Yeah, he was proud. Yeah, he's a great teammate, great leader. So we talked, we text, and so he's a great guy and great example. But yeah, he was super happy with the success that we had.
You obviously know more than we do, but what would it mean to get your first start if that is in the cards for you, or at least like a substantial amount of playing time?
Yeah, it would obviously be great. Kind of like what we were saying before, anytime that you can't step on the football field, you want to put your best foot forward and just show how much you've prepared and are ready for the opportunity that comes my way.
How valuable are those reps that you do get with the offense versus the scout team reps?
Just running your offense, I think, is great with timing, with feeling comfortable taking snaps and just handing off to different guys. We obviously try to make everybody feel the same. I want my cadence to sound like Jay. You know, Nick wants his snaps to feel like Cam. It's just, but there are things that are just a little bit different just inherently. So obviously we do our best to try to make it sound and feel like the guy in front of us, but there are things that are a little bit different. So just getting those reps and getting those snaps just help us feel more comfortable that we can go out, play fast, and, you know, play our best game.